A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Here's what's trending today.
Okay.
The 2022 NFL Draft.
How about that?
We just got out of the 2021 NFL Draft, and now it's trending next year's. But no, in the CFL, it's let's go, wait. Let's not do interviews in the offseason. Hopefully they'll forget about us, and they'll leave us alone. Ask and you shall receive.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good morning, Canada. Welcome. Hey, it's a big day. Who's calling you, Moose?
I'm not sure. Don't they know I'm on the air?
Come on.
Is that the deal around
Can't
here?
be your mom.
It is not.
Welcome to the RP Show. It is episode number 477 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. We're coming to you from the bunker out here in not as warm as I'd like, Western Canada. RP here, Moose there, and I'm going to get to all your comments in a moment. It is a very big day. Kevin Costner's coming to mind for me today because it is draft day, and we're going to get into that in our Quick Six show topics here in moments. We are in the heartland of the Canadian Football League, out here in the sweatpants capital, so it is a big day. It is draft day. And a couple things that we're going to be talking about with our guest today. That's a big one. Donnie Taylor is going to be joining us, the ageless Don Taylor. You know him, you love him. From now, the Donnie and Dhali show from Czech TV in BC. And we'll get to your story in a moment. Actually, no. Can you wrap it up in 45 seconds? The story with Don Taylor?
Oh, the Don Taylor story. Yeah, absolutely. My first
Everybody knows Don Taylor.
I met was Don Taylor in Vancouver as a 19-year-old just out of school. And I went to sit in on a show, Sportsnet Connected. And I'm back in the dark behind the lights. He's at the desk. And he was talking to me the whole show. He butchered, I don't know if it was some Asian basketball player in the NBA, butchered a name. And he looked over and he's, for all you young broadcasters out there, if you can't pronounce a name, say it fast, say it slurred. And he had little tidbits of advice throughout the rest of the show.
He's just a funny guy.
Kept looking behind the camera. So funny. I remember watching him as a kid and his Simpsons voices or all the different little shticks that he did. But it wasn't completely, mess around hour. He just was so good at dropping the shticks in, and that's what makes him great.
Well, I'm looking forward to that chat coming up. Don Taylor here in Block 2 of the program today. Later on in Hour 2, we'll go a little deeper with our Director of Scouting, Craig Smith. 19 seasons in the Canadian Football League as either a scout, coach, or director of player personnel, so that's coming up. It's a good guest list today. Let's jump into the quick 6 show topics, please, Director Jordan. I got good news and I got bad news, and we're going to start with the good news. Where's Kevin Costner when you need him? Draft day.
I know.
It's very exciting for the CFL aficionados. It's actually, I'm going to leave the poll question for a second, too. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have the number 1 overall pick. This is going to start just after 7 p.m. Eastern on TSN. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have the number 2 overall pick. And beyond that, I don't really care. But I've made my prediction that the Saskatchewan Roughriders are going to take Nelson Lacombo with the number 2 overall pick, University of Saskatchewan Huskies linebacker. I've been doing my research today. I've been calling all over for what I need to know about Nelson Lacombo. He is my prediction. They need to replace Cameron Judge with a Canadian linebacker. This guy's pro-ready. It's what everybody's telling me. He's ready to forgo what's left of eligibility and come play now, which I think with the number 2 overall pick, you don't want to wait. Let's get him in here. Nelson Lacombo. Unless the Hamilton Tiger Cats take him number 1 overall and screw all of that up. But the Hamilton Tiger Cats could take Josh Palmer. He's from Mississauga. He's the number 1 guy on the board. But he was also drafted in the NFL on the weekend. So there's some intrigue going into tonight. But I get the sense that you haven't even put as much as that amount of thought into it.
No,
am I right?
You're right. I mean, I haven't put a lot of thought into it, but Nelson Lacombo is a player I have been following him for a long time in the Canadian football or in youth sports in the Canada West, and I think where he goes, that team will win the draft. I think he's the most impactful player in the first round that will come in and make a difference. Familiar with the game, good kid, great family, and a kid who CFL people have told me. The last time he was on the field with the University of Saskatchewan, he could have walked right into his CFL locker room and gotten on the field, not just been a practice roster player.
Right.
So he's ready. He's ready to go.
That's our prediction. Are you saying number 2, Nelson Lacombo as well?
Yeah.
They should take him. Let's put it that way. So anyways, that's Peter and Paul Positive, the Positive brothers here. And now I'm going to turn my hat sideways and go to Rod the Realist. I was thinking about that last night. So this from the Victoria Times columnist, of which I read almost every day. From yesterday, Provincial Health Officer Dr. Bonnie Henry said Monday, we're in a whole different world now thanks to the vaccines rollout, but that won't necessarily usher in a return to normalcy for sports, concerts, and cultural events this summer, fall, or early next winter. So hang on. Take that down for 1 sec, guys. I'll call for it in a sec. She said, sports will be played this summer and fall in BC, but likely without anything nearing full attendance permitted. Bonnie Henry in her media briefing Monday said perhaps hundreds of people could be allowed for concerts, cultural and sports events, but not thousands. Quote, there will not be any big events of any sort, even outdoors, through this summer or into the fall and winter of next year. There will not be big events where there's lots of crowds of people this summer. Now, if you can put that up, guys, sorry to juke you out of your shorts. So it was March 5th. I put this together. March 5th, Bonnie Henry said Dr. Bonnie Henry says BC could be in post-pandemic world by summer. That got everybody excited. Monday, 5:10 p.m. Pacific, the headline, big events not likely to take place in BC this summer, Dr. Henry. Now, I was going back and forth with the Bedard camp yesterday. You can take that down, guys. And I said, man, I pray that we can get crowds to watch Connor in the fall in Regina here in the Brand Center. And I sent them that and I sent it to a few people, and people take it to think that that's a shot at Bonnie Henry. It's not. So what are you saying? I'm not saying anything. There's the highlights. There's the quotes. You make your own judgment. What I'm saying is, if she doesn't know, who knows? That's a 180 within 2 months. She is the top expert. I got a hella respect for her. But if she's going to do a flip-flop on where we're going, how can we make any predictions for how sports is going to go? Does that make sense?
Makes complete sense. All you can do is assess life in the environment you're in today. Can we go out? Can we not go out? And based on the information that we have today, this is what we project for the future. And that's what she did back in March.
Yes.
But that's how much things change. We live in a different world than we did in March. And we'll live in a different world in August. Doesn't mean that it won't flip back in August and things might get better. But that just tells you that playing CFL football or having fans in hockey arenas, it's no sure thing, no matter how far off you're looking.
Doesn't look very realistic to me. So that's the cold, hard facts from Rod the Realist. So you can run off and say whatever you want. I'll say it for a second time. That's not to make her look bad. That's to say that's the person we're all following. And for sure, BC is definitely. And she's saying no crowds even until the winter, indoor or outdoor. So put it that way. And then the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center with dealerships all across the prairies is, will you be following the CFL Draft tonight? On Twitter, 57% saying no, they will not. What's it on Facebook?
61% say no.
43% on Twitter saying yes. 39% on Facebook saying, again, Rod the Realist. We're excited about it because we're CFL fans. Not everybody's excited about it. And I'll go one step further. Nelson Hakowicz writes in and says, where will Kyle Borsa land tonight? And again, I'm following this. U of R Rams receiver, I don't think he's going to get drafted. He wasn't in the top 20 prospects. But the road to the Hall of Fame's paved with guys that never got drafted.
That's right.
Rob Bagg, Neil Hughes. They're going to have a garage party tonight. Socially distanced, Kyle Borsa tells us. I don't think he's going to get drafted. And again, Rod Realist rears his head. But we'll be following. But the majority of our respondents saying they won't. And that's a sports show.
Yeah.
So moving on. Monday NHL leftovers, and there's a lot here. One, Cole Caulfield doesn't waste them. You know what that means? When he scores, he makes them count. And that's overtime winners. And they came back and beat your Leafs in a hell of a hockey game last night.
That's fun. If you love hockey, you love games like that.
That was a great game.
It was a great game. And it makes me sad that, and maybe it's in your Montreal, Winnipeg are tied for third, because I want Toronto to play Montreal in the first round just for that entertainment.
Do we trust the Oilers goaltending? I don't. I'm saying it again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. No, I don't trust their goaltending. So, hey, we got Connor. He's in the race. It's one of my leftovers. He's a lock for the Ross and the Hart. But let's not get wrapped up in regular season glory. Okay?
Yes.
What do they say? All-stars are made in the regular season. Legends are made in the playoffs. And that's coming up in next week or 10 days' time. And also, do you love Tom Wilson if he's on your team? It would be pretty hard to love Tom Wilson whether he's on your team or he's not. Come on. He's running around last night, sucker, cheap shotting Russians. He jumps Panarin. And I'm sitting there trying to defend the guy going, well, his gloves aren't off. Does that mean something that he's punching them with his gloves on?
That'd be different.
It's a small difference.
But when you go from punching guys to doing the face slam into the ice, that's completely not part of the game, hockey, fighting, or any of it, that's where he lost me. That's where he lost me.
Their Broadway hat podcast boys are watching in New York right now. Kyle Hall says, how is the NHL this tone deaf? $5,000 fine is a joke. One of the most exciting players in the NHL gets his head bounced off the ice by a player that's a repeat offender and nothing. Listen, when Dylan Dubé didn't get anything for smashing his forearm into Kotkaniemi's face at the start of the year, remember that? Like, almost broke his nose. And he got nothing. I thought he'd get 5 to 7 games. So what they see is different from what I see. And Kyle, let's not forget you're a Rangers fan. Did you see David Quinn going off last night? The Rangers head coach. So you're not exactly nonpartisan here.
No. But Tom Wilson was a repeat offender on the same play.
He did it twice.
He did it twice.
Yeah. So fun night in the National Hockey League.
Yes.
As they all are. Point 3 in the quick 6 show topics here. Canada spanks the Czechs 10-3 Monday. Connor Bedard, 2 goals, 3 assists. He was the story of the game. Yeah, put the camera on him, please.
Hail the kid.
As I said to Kevy in Vancouver, close to the Bedard family, I said, wait till he gets comfortable, Kevy. He's 5 points. He's still sorting out his role. And they'll now play Sweden in the semifinals. So it's just been a great hockey. Boy, I got to move on. Covering a lot of ground here. Point 4. I got to say this. So LeBron, I think he missed again last night with an ankle injury. Did you see his comment about the play-in?
Yeah.
LeBron says whoever thought of the play-in one-game showdown to get into the NBA playoffs should be fired. I'm starting to think LeBron should get fired. Because he's only looking at it from his own perspective, and he's 36, he's old, he's beat up, he doesn't want to play an extra game, I guess. But I was the one saying the NHL should have held on to the play-in and got 24 teams on the lip of the playoffs every year. It was so awesome last year. Mm-hmm. More hockey, the better. Ball for all in the NBA. But because, like LeBron literally is lobbying for a guy to get fired. For a guy that actually came up with, I think, is a pretty good idea.
Doing baseball.
Yeah. Well, wild card.
Play in one game,
That's
way
right.
you go. Every year, doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Engages fan bases that much further. I like it. I don't think it's a problem, but, the Lakers are on a bit of a slide, and there's a threat that he might be in that game. So I get it. Everybody wants to look out for themselves, but also when LeBron talks, people listen. He carries a lot of weight. A lot of history with the game. He's one of the greatest of all time. So when he speaks, you kind of have to listen. He's earned that.
Jeff Kibilis in Winnipeg says LeBron's head is swelling with ego. I've always been a LeBron fan, but he's really losing me lately. Like when they win the NBA championship last year, and he's like, it's about damn time. It's your third team with a championship, LeBron. You haven't got respect your whole life. We've all respected you. What are you bitching about all the time? He's always bitching.
I know.
He's had a pretty good life from what I could see. Moving on. Point 5, the Oakland A's beat the Blue Jays last night. 5-4 was the final. George Springer didn't play again. We're not concerned yet. We are not concerned yet. But it's coming.
Yet.
Yeah. Vladdy had 3 hits. They're not going to win them all. But first game of a long road trip, they're just settling in. It's a 4-game set. They'll be fine. Just saying George Springer didn't play. And point 6, for the Green Bay Packers, did you see the latest from their head coach, Matt LaFleur, on the Aaron Rodgers thing? I don't know if you saw this.
Not from LaFleur.
Yeah, he addressed the media yesterday, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and he said he can't fathom life without Aaron Rodgers. So he's like the kids in this divorce.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think.
No, yeah, absolutely. They all are. LaFleur is. Devontae Adams, he had
They're the kids.
The tweet, right? I think he said, I guess you really got to enjoy things while you have them, or something along those lines, right? And really appreciate what you have, is what he said. And then the GM says, I don't think that this relationship is beyond repair. He said that, right? There's always one person in the relationship that wants to stay in, right? But
and there's always one that has one foot out the door.
But guess what? You need 2 people who want to be all the way in. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If they're not both all the way in, it's not going to work.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
free marital advice.
Free advice.
From the guy that's never been married. But
I've also never been divorced. So
that's right.
Sign me up.
There you go. So that's the Quick 6. This has been the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Order in from the Four Seasons Sports Palace, 909 Arcola Avenue East. Proud supporters of the Rod Pedersen Show. Don Taylor next. We're going to Vancouver. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to talk a lot of CFL and BC Lions football, some Canucks, some Seattle Kraken. That's all ahead. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live in 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Every pre-owned vehicle at Capital Ford must pass a thorough inspection, ensuring that your buying experience is quick, easy, worry-free, and just like new. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. the refreshing taste of lemon and Saskatoon berry with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Your Tuesday morning coffee get-together continues. Episode number 477 of the RP Show continues with a very special guest, the ageless, the peerless, Don Taylor. Fans from coast to coast joining us from the West Coast today, from the Donnie and Dhali Show. Good morning, DT. How you doing, my man?
Appreciate that. Very well, very well. Thanks for calling me ageless. I appreciate that. And also I have to say that thanks to you guys for using a promo shot of me on your Twitter page that must have been from about 25 years ago. I really appreciate that.
That was me. And that looked like a college photo or something of the like. But Don, here's the thing, though. As I felt bad for you. Not like I haven't gone through the same thing, but I Googled Don Taylor, Vancouver. Here's what comes up. Don Taylor let go by Vancouver TV. Don Taylor let go by TSN 1040 Radio. So, hey, it's all led you here, man, with Donnie and Dhali.
Yes, I'm working on my third buyout now. I've had two of them. I don't know anybody in our business who hasn't had at least one. One friend of mine has had four. So that basically sums up the state of our industry right now. It's not great, but it sure is fun.
Yeah, but when they're a talented guy like you and a good person, it always works out. And that's where you are now. And before we talk about this next incarnation of your life, which you said you'll be on the air here shortly out on Check TV, it is CFL Draft Day. I know you're a massive Lions fan. We've been watching you for years. I know you love the CFL. Does it rate on the needle of British Columbia? The Lions had the number 1 overall pick last year. Where is it on the radar of your viewers and fans?
I would say that the rankings go like this. Canucks, far and away the most popular, maybe not lately, but they're still the most popular, most talked about franchise in the province. It's not even close. I would say number 2 for me, and this has happened over the last, I don't know, Rod, 10, 20 years, is the NFL. And a lot of that has to do with the success of the Seahawks. They market up here in Vancouver, so there's that. And the CFL has dropped to somewhere below that. I think ahead of the Canadians and the Warriors and other franchises, but still nowhere near where it used to be. It's sad because when I first got into this industry, I moved up to Dawson Creek, and then I worked at Red Deer. And I came back. I'm a Vancouver guy, raised in North Burnaby, for people who know Vancouver. So I come back in 1984 after 5 years up north trying to start my career. Rod, the Lions were way bigger than the Canucks at the time. You remember the 80s and what a great time that was for the CFL. It was just outstanding. And, then I remember they lost the Montreal franchise. That was bad. And things started to go awry for the CFL after packing the place, BC Place, for a significant amount of time. And the 90s were tough, even with Flutie and the Rocket and all of that in the league anyway. The 2000s were really good as well with Mr. Braley taking care of things, and Casey Printers and Dave Dickinson and Wally, certainly. It was tremendous. I almost think in those 2 periods, in the 80s and the 2000s, the Lions got a little cocky. Their ticket prices were, I'm going on here and I apologize for that.
No. You're good.
Their ticket prices went up. I don't think they realized that to some extent they were a trend. It was a really interesting period, both those periods, the 80s and the 2000s. And I don't think they read the market well. And that's part of the problem. But they're definitely, right now, that's part of it. They're definitely down the list. And a lot of it has to do with not reading the market well, but also when it comes to football, the popularity of the Seahawks and the NFL in this market is second, I think, only to the Canucks, as I said before.
But, Don, I think the viewers here are all enjoying it. You're the guest. You go on as long as you want. Plus, I think you like talking about the CFL because you don't really get to. Right, you don't really get to on your other shows because the appetite isn't necessarily there. But I do remember sitting in the press box at BC Place, and I won't say with whom, a Lions staffer, and I said, are the Seahawks becoming competition? This is like 10, 15 years ago. And he's like, I never really thought about it. I said, you might want to think about it. Like, when did the Seahawks start moving in? Because this isn't a 30-year thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Seahawks have been around for a significant amount of time, but no, I would say when Marshawn Lynch came up with his big run against the New Orleans Saints in the playoffs, and that coincided with the Seahawks coming up with great uniforms. After that, getting Russell Wilson. Doing a great job of marketing in the Vancouver area. And I believe now they have somewhere in the neighborhood of, when they had fans, 9,000 to 10,000 people from Vancouver that are season ticket holders down in Seattle. They really did an impressive job. And getting that fairly new stadium as well, it's a great experience. There's a whole lot of factors there. It's not that far away. It's 2 hours away. Not even that for some people who have a lead foot. So a lot of factors involved. But the Seahawks just, can I use this word as somebody who's 61? They were just cooler than the Lions. And the NFL is just such a machine, and people here really got into that. It's too bad. I still think there's and I think there will be still a great place for an important place for the CFL in this market. Maybe we'll have one of those periods again, like we did in the 80s and the 2000s, where the Lions became an it franchise in the city. And I hope they learn from the past and build on that, as opposed to just open the doors.
Well, the fact is you're just sitting spewing facts. If people don't like to hear it, it's the truth. But you mentioned Printers. that Empire Stadium out on the East Van was rocking. 30,000, they just threw it up in a month, and it was great. And when I talked to Wally, well, the last time I talked to him, he had mentioned the possibility of a outdoor new stadium in your hometown of Burnaby. I don't know if that's still on the burner or not, but Don, is it gone too far? Could the Lions become cool again, or do they have to kind of just, it is what it is situation? Can they be reborn?
I think what you said there is the key, is to get a stadium in the burbs where I know the majority of Lions fans are, open air where you've got a view of the mountains, which you don't do at BC Place. I think because look, in the 90s, when Nelson Scalabrini owned the team, I thought, going to games and looking around at BC Place, I thought, you know what? This is the last season, whatever year it was. Like 96 was particularly bad when they brought in Andre Ware, and it was just awful. I remember thinking, this is the end of the Lions. And then along came David Braley and Wally Wano, and they got really, really popular again. So if they could somehow do that again, if there was a new stadium, but I doubt if that's going to happen, I could see there being another period where they become hot, where they become cool. And again, hopefully they've learned from what they've done in the past. The problem, Rod, is that not that long ago, in 2011, it was 2011, the taxpayers of British Columbia bucked up $500 million to renovate BC Place. So I don't know how well that would go over. It would have to be private money for them to get a new stadium. And then here's the other problem: is David Braley has passed away. The Braley family is now in charge of the Lions, and word is that his offspring are not as into the CFL as David who is, and that's an issue that they have to deal with probably first and foremost.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, and I thought it was Wally that told me, but maybe it was your good buddy Julio who said that the Aquilinis would like to buy the Lions, implode BC Place. It'd be all their money, and put the stadium out of downtown, and build condos and stuff. And Bob's your uncle. You know what I mean? It would be perfect. So we'll see. This is going by far too fast. A viewer question, Don. They remember you from Dawson Creek. I just want to ask you, because you're a DJ there, they say, what was the music format?
It was you work in small towns, I take it, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna all the great broadcasters have. Kids today, they don't know what it's like to pay their dues. I'm sure you've had that for some young people. Yes, Dawson Creek, CJDC. The music format was pretty much scrambled eggs, and by that I mean anything and everything. I can remember playing things like West Montgomery. And then following it up with Nick Lowe and Cruel to Be Kind. This was like the late 70s, early 80s when New Wave was coming in. You could basically do what you want, but the owner at the station wanted a certain amount of adult contemporary. And that's where the West Montgomerys, Dean Martins came in. So it was a little bit of everything. I wanted to play rock and roll, New Wave and stuff like that. So I managed to slip that in. It was all over the place.
Of course you did. I love the smile on your face when you said that. And I'm having flashbacks to, that was Long May You Run by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And now we have Ian and Sylvia Tyson. That was the station I was.
It's so true. But you're right. But it was, and you're making $400 a month, and you're just thinking you're on top of the world doing the midnight shift in Dawson Creek. And I loved it. And like you say, I can't help it. I thought it was great. In fact, it was hard for me to leave. I really, really. I spent 3 years up there. I loved it. I went to Red Deer after that. Also loved that. And it wasn't as much as people might think that Vancouverites are snobby and they're just only in love with their city. I had a hard time moving back. I really liked it up north. So different from Vancouver.
I didn't have a tough time leaving because it was the first time I was fired. And as they say, every time after that, it gets a little easier. Don, I don't want to go into the negativity of the Canucks being in seventh. So let me ask you about this. Anytime that I've been in Vancouver, they've been talking about the Kraken and the natural rivalry between the Canucks and Seattle. So how much are you, because they've, I think, scrapped this year. How much are they starting to look ahead?
Well, I don't know if they can look ahead until there's some sort of change. There has to be a change personnel-wise or in the front office. And I think that's when people can look ahead. In terms of the Canuck organization, there's really an appetite for change right now. But as far as the Kraken goes, the Canucks, and we like to think of, and it is, I mean, Vancouver's a world-class city. But the one thing it doesn't have, and when you travel back east, you really notice this, is neighbors that are close. And when you go to New York, when you go to Philadelphia or Montreal, I mean, you drive to road games. And it's just so great. And Vancouverites, let's be honest here, we're isolated here. We do think we have the greatest city in the world. We brag about it, all of that. But it is isolated. And just the thought of being able to go into your car, hop into your car, travel an hour and a half, 2 hours down the road, and see the Canucks play on the road, it's really, really exciting. I think people can't wait. But it might be pretty hard getting a ticket if and when they open up the doors to the arena there. But it's going to be exciting.
Well, but having said that, I have heard Canucks fans say, if the Kraken win a Stanley Cup before the Canucks do, I'm done. I'm out. You must hear that.
Oh, my God. You know what, Rod? Not just fans, but myself. I've been around following this team since before 1970 when they entered the NHL, when they were a minor league team, the Western Hockey League, with Don Cherry was one of their defensemen, believe it or not. I was just a kid watching those games. They also had Dick Cherry, Don's brother, one of the great names of all time in sports. And the first thing I thought of was that when the Kraken became real, that they're going to win the Stanley Cup, I'm going to live to see them win the Stanley Cup before the Canucks. That was my fear, because I know the Canucks history. It's been really tough for people in this town, including myself. And because I'm a fan, I grew up a fan. And that was the first thing that hit me, that the Kraken, who seemed to be making just a million great moves before they even hit the ice, uniforms, who they hired, all of that, waiting for a coach, all of that, just really smart. It just seems that they're on the right path, and it wouldn't surprise me for 1 second if they won a Stanley Cup before the Canucks did. That's just the way things go in Vancouver.
I know, but I don't think they're going to follow the Golden Knights path. That's going to be tough to beat. Clark, how long did you say we had? Oh, we have a minute and a half. Would you mind telling me about Donnie and Dhali with my good buddy, you and him, Rick Dhaliwell over on Czech TV? How's that going, Don? Tell our viewers what's up with that.
Well, we got a 2-hour show on Czech. It goes from 10 a.m. till noon on Czech TV, which is 2:15 on Shaw, 120 on TELUS, and in Vancouver anyway, as I promote the show. But it's just Rick and I basically doing a radio show on TV, but we do highlights and bring up all the issues that are surrounding the Vancouver sports scene. And for people who don't know Rick, this is the way it goes. I'm the guy who basically does the ins and outs of the broadcast, the so-called bus driver, as I use some broadcasting term of the broadcast. And then I throw issues at Rick. And the thing is with Rick, he gets scoops. You know this, right? He gets scoops that nobody else gets from NHL general managers, CFL, NFL, anybody. And the thing is with Rick, when he's paying attention, he's really, really good. And when he's not paying attention, he's better. It's a real weird combination. So he's always on his phone texting and stuff like that. So we bring up the issues of the day on the BC sports scene, do some highlights, have a whole lot of fun, go off into the entertainment realm, all sorts of stuff like that. And so far, it's going really, really well.
Good. I like to hear that. So, Don, listen, it's been a pleasure. You're universally loved. That's hard to get in this business. Trust me, I know, by everybody. So, thanks for this. Continued blessings, and stay safe out there, my friend.
Rod, thank you so much, and I just love the job you guys are doing on that show. I love your set. I love all the paraphernalia there. I'm jealous. We've got to get there, but just outstanding. Thanks so much.
Keep in touch, Don. Thank you.
Right.
The great Don Taylor joining us from the Donnie and Dhali Show, Czech TV, based out in Victoria, but of course airing all across the beautiful province of British Columbia. We'll be right back with a sports update. We'll talk a little more CFL draft here on draft day, and Moose DuPont will join us in the bunker next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. We're coming to you from the bunker out here in Western Canada. How about this, Darren? The Prairie Mobile text line is open, and you're not going to believe this one. You can always reach us here in the bunker at 306-840-8777. Hi, Rod. I stumbled over your show a few months ago and really enjoyed it, all caps. You and Moose doing a great job. Deb from Toronto. I wrote her back. Wow, thanks for watching, Deb. Smiley face emoji. She wrote me back. Love the show.
All right.
So she found us on Game Plus. Thank you, Deb in Toronto.
Welcome.
Tell your friends. And I'll get to Brady in Saskatoon, who is now, in a minute, he's now back on the Habs bandwagon, just so you know, depending on the day, right? But a sports update, Razor Ramon Laureano homered For the third, I added the razor.
I know. That's great.
Razor Ramon Laureano homered for the third consecutive day, and the Oakland Athletics beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-4, spoiling Marcus Semion's return to the Coliseum. Stephen Piscotty also went deep for Oakland. Semien went 1 for 3 with a walk in his first game back in Oakland after signing with Toronto in the offseason. He got a lengthy standing ovation. Are you sneezing or laughing over there?
Trying not to sneeze.
You almost blew up.
I know.
Breaking news out of 212 this morning, downtown New York. Washington's Tom Wilson was fined $5,000 by the NHL today for roughing Rangers forward Pavel Buchnevich in the team's game last night at MSG. The fine is the maximum allowable for the incident under the league's CBA with players. Wilson's salary this season is $4.1 million. Wilson was given a double minor for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct for a scrum in which he appeared to punch Buchnevich, who was face down on the ice, and threw Artemi Panarin down to the ice as well. Panarin was ruled out for the remainder of the game with what the team called a lower body injury. It's Tom Wilson doing Tom Wilson things, skating around, roughing up Russians. Speaking of Russians, Yaroslav Lakevich had a goal and a helper on the power play, and the Blainville Boisbriand Armada held on to beat the Gatineau Olympique 4-3 Monday night to win Game 4 and advance to the second round of the Quebec League playoffs. Luke Henman, Benjamin Corbet, and Thomas Lacombe also scored to help the Armada build up a 4-0 lead before nearly blowing it in the third period. Charles Edward Gravel stopped 28 shots for the Armada, who took the best-of-5 set in 3-1 fashion. They'll now face the Victoriaville Tigres in the next round. And Amazon Prime Video will become the exclusive home of the NFL's Thursday Night Football package a year earlier than originally anticipated. The 11-year package begins in 2022. This is the first time a streaming service has had the full rights to an NFL package. Prime Video will carry 15 regular season games on Thursday night, along with one preseason game. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. I kind of meant, Dupes, to put this into the Quick Six. How do we all feel about streaming games for the National Football League? Because they're the first league to really dive into it full time. Blue Jays had some games on Facebook.
That's right.
Over the last couple of years. I mean, I went and got Prime, Amazon Prime, so I could watch Yellowstone. It's the only reason why I got it. Right? But we're kind of moving away from that traditional. Actually, we have moved away from ABC, CBS, NBC, ESPN into streaming. How do we feel about that?
We feel great, but nothing's changed.
Wait a minute. Yes, it has. If I don't have Amazon Prime, let's just imagine a world without Yellowstone. As horrible as that world would be.
Don't tell me.
I wouldn't have Amazon Prime. Therefore, I would not get Thursday Night Football. Is that what I'm reading here?
Right. But let's imagine a world without Friday Night Football. So you wouldn't have you wouldn't have TSN, and then you wouldn't have the under-18s on your channel right now. You wouldn't subscribe. We subscribe to TSN for the programs we want on TSN the same way we subscribe to Amazon Prime. And if you look at getting a cable subscription, you're going to pay $95, $100 a month. Well, if you subscribe to all of the streaming platforms, the OTT streaming products over the top networks, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Crave, and the others, you add them all up, it's about $95 a month. They've replaced television, right? And instead of it all being on a TV guide, you have all your programs on Amazon to watch. The habits are pretty close to the same. It doesn't mean we're going to be watching football on our phone, because I don't think anybody wants to watch the NFL on your phone. Maybe if I'm in the car and I want to see the play, I've done that. But I'm not really interested in watching them on a tiny screen. We had tiny phones, and they've gotten bigger for that reason. So nothing's really changed. It's just the way we go to find it has changed a little bit. And those ABCs,
I know.
CBS, NBC, have turned into Amazon, Netflix, Crave.
I'm sure I'm behind the times. In some ways I am. In some ways I'm way out front. But in this, if we want to watch Yellowstone, we got to go down to the living room, because we don't have it upstairs where one of our big screens is. I'd rather be able to watch Thursday Night Football from any television in my house.
And that will happen.
I can't, but we're not there yet.
That will happen. All those TVs now are becoming smart TVs. It's just like you used to have to go down because that was the only satellite box you had. And now it's easy to get a second one. It's quickly adapting that all the TVs will come equipped with those networks.
Technology.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Viewer Takeover. And we got to get Pinckney's question about Star Wars because that's a good one, eh? We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Every pre-owned vehicle at Capital Ford must pass a thorough inspection, ensuring that your buying experience is quick, easy, worry-free, and just like new. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back. As promised, it's Viewer Takeover, but I do just want to say this. The esteemed John Hodge has come out with his mock draft for the CFL Draft tonight. Number 1 overall, he's got the Hamilton Tiger Cats taking receiver Terrell Jana out of Virginia. And number 2, he's got tight end Jake Burt from Boston College, who was raised in Regina, moved to Boston, played at Boston College, spent last year with the Patriots, and now he's eligible for the CFL Draft. Don't ask. It's a CFL thing. I'm still sticking with Nelson Lacombo because that's who I think the Riders need, and want. But I dropped the little NFL doing a deal with Amazon, and that's what's got everybody. Comments are going crazy. From CD, the Ticats fan watching on YouTube says, yes, Rod, love the fact you're a fan of Yellowstone. If there's a level higher than fan, that's what I am. From Dar Netzel says, Rod, get an Apple TV. It's on any TV you want. Yeah, I'm getting there. I still like my rabbit ears. What?
I'm not surprised.
There are so many comments coming in. Man, it triggered them all, right?
Yep.
From Beneath Sports in Toronto, the means in which we watch has changed. Many people have cut the cord, but each network has just created their own streaming platform. Now it's a fight for content. How about that? Do you know anybody that makes content?
A few people.
Kevin Olenek in Vancouver. The other issue is many NFL fans are into fantasy. If you're on the go, you can watch highlights of your fantasy on your smartphone. It's win-win for them. Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, says, again, Bell Media owns a little service called Crave, but hey, let's continue to treat one of our biggest sports properties, the CFL, as the redheaded stepchild. You're lucky, Nelson. You're lucky, Nelson, that you're redheaded, because I feel that that's not very inclusive to stepchildren, and especially redheaded stepchildren. Can we say that anymore? Can you even say that? I'm waiting for the guy. He beat him like a rented mule. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Mike Lang, I would have thought he'd be thrown in jail for that now.
I know.
Are you advocating for animal abuse for rented mules? Anyways, you have a comment on Bell and Crave and the CFL.
Yeah, I mean, they own the property, but they have a plan for that property, and it's TSN to broadcast the games. At the end of the day, they run a business, and they have massive shareholders, and clearly they don't, they don't see the CFL as a property that they want to slap on Crave that's going to draw subscribers. What they put on Crave as a featured product is to drive subscriptions. And also, the streaming rights deal was through TSN. It wasn't, a Bell deal to use in all their properties. It was a TSN deal, my understanding. But again, when they make decisions, it's what they think is best for their business. And last time I think, I haven't been inside the books of Bell Media, I think they're doing okay.
From our viewers, Chris in Kingston, Ontario, any update on the curling broadcasts? Yeah, nothing televised until Wednesday at the earliest. Curling report coming up next hour for Verge Agriculture. Comments are going insane here. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, Rod still uses a VCR. You think that's funny, but I actually do have one. It's in the back of my car. Don't ask. Farmer in Saskatchewan writes in and says, where can I listen in on the draft? Any suggestions? Look, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to say we're not the PR marketing arm of the Canadian Football League. We are not. We're our own television channel. It's up to them to promote that, not us. But TSN does have it at 5 p.m. SAS time if you want to stream it in your tractor cab. But it's just so many people are saying they didn't even know what was on. And how can you, like I said, they spent 10 to 15 minutes on the soccer riot at Manchester U on SportsCenter the other night, and I'm like, you got a draft in 48 hours in the CFL. Why are you not spending this time on that? But who the hell am I? We can do this. Put up the Pinks thing. If you're having a draft of Star Wars characters, I really had to think about it. And this has gone through stages of my life. I would have drafted as a child Luke Skywalker. I don't know if you guys can find that or not. As a teen, Princess Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Post-teen, Han Solo. Coolest dude roaming the earth. You?
Chewbacca.
Never changed?
I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
What?
Not a big Star Wars guy. I've only seen 2 of the movies.
We'll continue that next hour. It's coming up on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150 plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Here's what's trending today.
Okay.
The 2022 NFL Draft.
How about that?
We just got out of the 2021 NFL Draft, and now it's trending next year's. But no, in the CFL, it's let's not do interviews in the offseason. Hopefully they'll forget about us and they'll leave us alone. Ask and you shall receive.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome to what we call the second half kickoff, everybody. It's hour 2 of your favorite sports talk show and episode number 477. I got to clarify something that's been bothering me since the break. Jeff, the Stamps fan, wrote in and says he thought that Rod was a Han Solo guy. I am a Han Solo guy. I've settled on Han Solo, but I'm saying as a little kid, Luke Skywalker was my fave. How could he not be?
Yeah.
And then as a teen, Princess Leia, somewhat. She wasn't in Lonnie Anderson territory, but and then I settled on Han Solo. He's my dude. Harrison Ford, and still is. So I'm a Han Solo guy. That's who I'm drafting in round 1. But it took me a while to reach that. How about that? And DuPont completely botched your question.
Botched it.
So take it away.
I need to change. It's Yoda. I was thinking the wise. It's not Chewbacca. It's not the wise one. But you remember, I've only seen a movie, maybe a movie and a half of the old ones. That's it. So I got some homework to do. I was a Captain Kirk, and
so I wasn't a Star Trek
Picard.
guy.
Picard was my guy.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
First movie I ever saw was Star Wars in the theater.
Wow. I bet.
Yeah, you can just imagine.
I bet.
The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, will you be following the CFL Draft tonight? On Twitter, 57% of you saying no, you won't. And on Facebook, what are they saying, guys?
56% say no.
The majority saying they won't. Can I just say this? If we'd put the poll up last week and said, will you be following the NFL draft this weekend? What do you think the results would have been?
Oh, boy.
I think it would have been closer to 50-50.
You really do?
Yeah.
Let's do the poll tomorrow. Did you watch the NFL draft?
Oh, you can never go back. I think it would be similar. That's all.
Okay.
My God, for the CFL's sake, I hope so.
I know, right? But it was something like over 12 million Americans tuned into the draft, or 12 million viewers tuned into the NFL draft, which beat out playoff ratings for basketball, for baseball. It was really well viewed in the United States. I don't know how it was viewed up here. I didn't see the Canadian numbers.
This is not like the TSN is broadcasting the draft. They've done very little coverage of it on Sportsnet. Trust me, I know, because I watch it every day. I'm a huge TSN fan. I could not survive without it. And this is kind of turning into a TSN bashing thing here, and I don't want that because those are my friends. They treat us great. I just think they could be better to the CFL than they are. And for whatever reason, I've never lived in the GTA, so I can't speak to what the mindset is there. But the one viewer wrote in here and said, Jason and Red Deer from the Puck and Pigskin podcast says TSN's the worst promoter of everything except Blue Jays, Leafs, and Raptors. It's become pretty clear of what their mandate is, and it's their network. They can do whatever the heck they want. If I was the CFL, I'd be pretty upset that they're not promoting the draft, certainly compared to what they're doing in the States. You heard the intro when we came in. On Monday, yesterday, what was trending in America? The 2022 NFL draft. It's not for 52 more weekends. But it's because of talk. It's because of hype. I mentioned, like, come on. Craig Smith will come on in for the ballers. Next segment, he's going to talk about tonight's draft and who he thinks will go where and talk about the names. But some of these football coaches, there's been a lot of talk about the draft, and the football people saying, well, maybe you don't care, but you know what? We really care in the football world because these kids have been working their whole lives. This is a big deal. And it's like, yeah, the CFL has always done football right. It's getting it outside the football world to everybody else, okay? That's the problem. That's why the results are what they are. Even this morning, we were talking in the morning meeting about who would be the number one pick in the draft. It wasn't a slam dunk.
No, it wasn't.
Now, there never really is, though, because if there was a Trevor Lawrence, they might still take the best offensive lineman who grew up down the street from the stadium. That's the CFL thing.
Yeah.
But that's the charm of the Canadian Football League.
It really is. It really is. But, it is. It is part of the charm. But that's what we want to do, is learn about these players and figure out what your team needs. And at the end of the day, it might not be the same big lead up and, I hope our team takes this guy and I hope our team takes this guy. It's more of our team took who?
Yeah.
Oh, let's Google him. Let's find out where he played.
Yeah.
And now let's get excited post-draft about the guy we drafted. But that's not right nor wrong. It's just the way it is in the Canadian Football League. So let's enjoy it for what it is.
This is hilarious. We had Don Taylor on last hour. The great Don Taylor. Everybody knows who he is.
Yes.
And I was asking viewers for questions and for Don, because his highlight shtick was his shtick of many things. He had a lot of shticks, but one was his highlights and funny little things. And viewer on Twitter writes in and he says, where the heck did it go? It just slipped off the screen. Where is Grandma hiding? Here it is. What is Grandma keeping on the top shelf these days? Grandma? Because I was calling a Pats game a few weeks ago, and I said, where Grandpa hides the Playboys. But you're asking what Grandma's keeping on the top shelf. Is she hiding the Playgirls on the top shelf? And talk about a magazine that never really caught on.
Yeah.
Playgirl.
Just never did, hey?
Not like Playboys. Just saying.
You're
feeling very awkward right now.
No, it's a men and women thing is what it is.
Clearly.
The women they're so much better than us. They're just so much better.
They're better human beings.
They're better human beings than we are.
Just never there's no Playgirl mansion, all right?
No, there's not. No debauchery.
No. Jeff the Stamps fan writes in, he says, the CFL is like a cockroach. It will survive anything. You keep thinking that. Because the attitude like that is what's going to kill the CFL. And it's interesting, by the way. I don't know if you've been following the XFL Markcast boys, the podcast out of Seattle for the XFL. They had our good buddy Dan Ralph on from the Canadian Press. I don't know if you saw any of the comments of what Dan Ralph had to say. He said that if the CFL doesn't play this year, there will be no... they're done. He said that's what he's hearing. And I'm thinking... We've been saying that for quite a while, although I got a call last night from one of those white-haired insiders that told me that financially the league's not in as bad a shape as you think. And I'm sure that's probably the case. There's some deep-pocketed owners. There's some teams that have benefited from sugar daddies, even community-owned teams that have benefited from sugar daddies. So they're not teetering on dying, even if they don't play in 2021. But from just the fact that the majority of viewers of a sports show aren't even going to be following your draft, which incidentally is top 3 things on your calendar, is pretty damn scary. I don't care who you are. Again, we said this morning in our morning meeting. What are the top on the calendar of the CFL every year? What are the top things? The Grey Cup, your home opener, and the draft. And then you would put in Labor Day's on the calendar.
Labor Day's there, yeah.
Certain other things. But top 3 is the draft.
Jeez.
Isn't it?
I was just about to kind of bring the positive, Paul positive to the forefront and say, well, Rod, maybe, the CFL draft just isn't what it is in the United States. And to the CFL, it's just a formality. It doesn't have to be a big thing. But when you said top 3 on the calendar, I'd probably say top 4. I'd put Labor Day in there.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Why?
If they consider it as one of the 4 big days on the calendar and the majority of your audience doesn't care about it, that's more of a stamp of affirmation of this is a bigger problem. It's a big problem that if it's one of your marquee events on the calendar and your audience doesn't care about it, that tells you all you need to know.
Hey, you're watching Paul and Peter Positive here right now. So let's stay on that.
I'm in.
John Schmeizer's watching from Kansas City and says, where else would you hear talk about the CFL and in the next breath, Playgirl magazine? Priceless. Right here. Meanwhile, Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, yet women like the Harlequin romance novels, which men won't touch. Yeah, but they don't have pictures. Do I got to spell it out for him? From Brad Hersina. Remember our friend Army Brad?
Mm-hmm.
He says, regarding Playboy, when Hugh Hefner died, no one said... nobody said he's gone to a better place. That's funny, Brad. Retired Sergeant Major Brad Hersina, good friend of ours from the military. Let me say this again, because it took me a minute. When Hugh Hefner died, nobody said he's gone to a better place because he's left the Playboy Mansion to... He'd be the only guy that didn't go to a better place.
I was going to say, he'd be the only guy not wanting the bright white lights of this wonderful place. But no. Yeah. Poor guy.
Poor guy. Did he die? Is he dead?
Or did he get canceled and knew the mansion wasn't going to be something that you could do in today's world, and he put it on a remote island, and we're with Tupac and...
Interesting comment from Beneath Sports in Toronto. It says, coming from the GTA, where he resides, if you ask 10 people about the CFL, you may get 10 people that don't know what it is. The football product isn't the issue. It's the lack of marketing towards people that don't normally watch your product. But we can go around and around and around on that forever. I think this is where I'm at with the CFL. If you're going to stay small and maybe say goodbye to Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal and let them go to the XFL and you become a 6-team Canadian loop, I'm not here for it. But if you're going to go big and you're going to merge with the XFL and you're up to 20 teams and you're on American networks and it's a big deal, I'm here for it. Bob's your uncle. Let's go. What do you need? Right? Because I think the way it's going, it's circling the drain, unfortunately. And I think a lot of the viewer comments, not ours, have pointed that out today.
You need to understand in the Canadian Football League that, yes, it's all Canadian markets, and yes, there's no teams from other leagues here, but every single day and every single week, you are competing head-to-head with the National Football League. You're competing head-to-head with the National Football League for my dollars for merchandise, which, by the way, I just made an online order to get the new Titans draft cap, okay? Just as a consumer
and they're
behavior.
pretty hot, by the way.
They're really hot. So I got that, and while I was on the store, there was a hoodie on sale, so I also bought that. Just, it'll show up, and I'll wear it on the show. But you're also competing for my attention on weekends, watching the games on TV. For my cable dollars subscribing, I subscribe to DAZN instead of to something else so I can get the NFL games in season. And my fantasy sports, my gambling dollars. The CFL competes head-to-head with the NFL every day. And they're, unfortunately, losing.
Yeah, that's why I think they should join. Can't beat them, join them. Whatever. This is the second half kickoff. Boy, have we hit on something here with the Playgirl Playboy discussion. Irene in Saskatoon. You know Irene.
Yes.
The nurse.
She got a collection?
She quite the opposite.
Okay.
She writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line at 840-8777. Prairie Mobile, your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. And she says, Playgirl, LOL. No one wants to look at the fuzzy peaches, young or old. Your fave, Irene in Saskatoon. You know, raised around sports my whole life, walking into a dressing room, it's seen enough. What?
Everybody thinks women are better looking. Women, men.
Even women think
everybody.
They are. Yeah. What did Paul Newman say in Slapshot? I might end up sleeping with old goalies. You never know. From Brady on the Prairie Mobile text line. Hey, Rod, Cole Caulfield again in overtime. Winning fashion this time. A wicked shot. Tom Wilson only assessed a $5,000 fine for a dangerous and dirty play. It's my mother's 51st birthday. May the 4th be with you, Rod. Rod still watches TV on one of those old 1920s box TVs and laughing. Oh, did you see it?
No. I saw.
What are you laughing at?
Janelle's comment.
What did she say? Do I want to know? What did Janelle say?
You seen one, you seen them all.
How about that?
How about that?
Completely off the rails.
By the way, I will be on Winnipeg Sports Talk at 1:15 p.m. Central, and I guarantee you we won't be talking about this. Thank you, Janelle, for that, by the way. From Nelson Hackowicz, he says, New Era doesn't even have draft caps for tonight's CFL draft. Well, consider this, though. The draft will be virtual. You couldn't even get the hat to the player even if you wanted to. What happened last year? Did they not send Jordan Williams? I'm trying to remember how it worked. I think he had hats of every team.
That's what they did in the NFL, too. They all had hats of every team.
Oh, Dan, the Jets fan, writes in and says, can't wait to see you on Winnipeg Sports Talk. I had to get the plug in there. I'll be on there with Hustler at 1:15 Central, 12:15 SAS time for those that want to join it on YouTube, Winnipeg Sports Talk, live. Speaking of hockey, let's get this in here. Hey, folks, NHL playoffs are approaching fast, and Pedersen Show sponsor, UniversityOfPucks.com, wants to make the run for the cup a lot more fun. Go to UniversityOfPucks.com right now and sign up for their free Stanley Cup playoff pool. Top prize is an autographed Connor Bedard Pats jersey. You're not going to get a better price than that. UniversityOfPucks.com to enter. Or as I like to say, don't get your lights punched out betting like I did on the Kentucky Derby when you don't know what you're talking about. Go to UniversityOfPucks.com, drop your $20 to enter, and you're automatically entered for a Connor Bedard autographed jersey. UniversityOfPucks.com, proud partner of the Rod Pedersen Show. We're going to get real serious about the CFL draft next with our director of scouting, Craig Smith. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk streaming for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to get into the draft talk. I should mention our curling report because I promised it. Canada's Carrie Einarson faces a Herculean climb to the playoffs at the Women's World Curling Championship. The host country halted a 4-game losing skid, though, with an 8-4 win over South Korea Monday. At 2-5, Einarson was still dangerously close to finishing outside Friday's top 6 teams, which will advance to the qualification round. Curling fans wanted to watch the Canadians attempt defeat on television or live streaming remained in limbo. Positive tests for the COVID-19 virus increased from 4 people to 7 among the TSN broadcast staff, which will keep the spiel off the air until at least Wednesday. Canada was beaten 6-2 in the morning by a short-staffed German team of 3 players skipped by Daniela Jentsch. An 8-5 record made the playoff cut in last month's Men's World Curling Championship. Einarson, vice Val Sweeting, second Shannon Burchard, and lead Brianne Malheur out of Manitoba's Gimli Curling Club face 6 more draws of trying to stave off elimination. The top 6 also qualify their countries to compete in women's curling at the 2022 Beijing Olympics. The Curling Report is brought to you by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's precision farm tech software for free today at vergeag.com. And speaking of Alberta, watching in Vulcan, Jack Fulton says, CFL, if you don't create hunger, fans will starve to death. Well, tonight should feed you. If you're a CFL fan, the draft, our director of scouting, Craig Smith, joins us. Smitty's been around the draft table for a couple of decades in the 3-down game. And Smitty, hey, could you just speak about what the GMs and personnel people are going through here today and tonight? It's like their Super Bowl, right?
Absolutely. It would be pretty calm right now. You know, everybody, like the old saying, the hay is in the barn. And, you know, they've got a pretty good idea and indication of who they want. A lot of people, they do a pyramid, you know, with guys at the start and you know, go down. But, you know, everybody's ready. Everybody's calm. Everybody's just waiting for the draft. This is, you know, that song at Christmas time, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, that's what this is. You know, with the NFL draft just wrapping up and the CFL draft, I just love it. I'm so excited for tonight.
For sure. And TSN's got it 7 p.m. Eastern. And here's the thing for our viewers that are new. Craig Smith scouted, coached with the Lions, Ticats, Blue Bombers, Rough Riders. And, of course, UBC where you coached. Did I miss anybody in the CFL there, Smitty?
No. 4
I think
teams.
I got
And so very, very, very lucky.
I don't know where you fall on this. So I see 3-Down Nation this morning's the mock draft from John Hodge has Terrell Jana going number 1 overall, receiver out of Virginia to the Tiger Cats. And then he's got Jake Burt, the Boston College receiver who was born in Regina, raised in Boston, going to the Rough Riders number 2. I think Saskatchewan's going to take Nelson Lacombo. Any idea out of the U of S Husky linebacker? How do you think the front draft of this thing's going to shake down tonight?
It's really hard to say because everybody had a draft last year that wasn't used. And all those guys are most likely ready to go. They didn't get injured. They didn't play themselves out of a job. So they're coming into to a situation. And everybody's probably feeling pretty good, you know, to get going without this draft. So now who knows what's going to happen? I mean, this is the strangest draft that the Canadian Football League will have because of that. And, somebody could be taking a future pretty early. I know that futures are going to, guys who have been drafted, and I know that probably is going to happen. Terrell Jana, a receiver, he's such a solid, reliable receiver. He's not real explosive, but he's a guy that can definitely have some really good success in the Canadian Football League. There's a possibility certainly at Hamilton. And Nelson, I like Nelson. I mean, back in 2018, when I was, just recovering and I was on a steroid to give me strength, I was in a press box watching Nelson, and he had a huge play, interception for a touchdown, showed speed. He's certainly a guy that could be possibly a guy. There's other guys that I really like. Ben Hladek, a kid from UBC. He's a linebacker that tested just crazy. And, my philosophy is obvious. And then you're looking at linebacker, defensive back, possibly running back to help out in special teams, and then develop and down the road, become a starter. And Ben fits that. He ran a 4.66 benched. He benched 29 for a linebacker. I mean, that's more than some of the O linemen on there. So, he's certainly a possibility, in one of those picks. I like that guy.
I was going to sprinkle in some viewer comments and questions here from Larry Schwenke. The pool master writes on Facebook, sorry, I'm one of the CFL fans that has no interest in the NFL. If there's no CFL game on the tube on Sunday, then I go outside to do something in my yard. I will be following the draft tonight, and am waiting patiently for the new schedule to come out. I did see a snippet of Draft Talk on SportsCenter with Farhan, who predicted, Craig, and I want your take on this, that because of the unpredictability of the players and the old film and the challenges that are going into selecting tonight, that you might see the big names go off the board earlier? The Chuba Hubbards, the Josh Palmers, the Jevon Hollands. Do you go along with that line of thinking?
Yeah, that's kind of what I mentioned. I think some of those kids that got drafted, and there was 4 that got drafted. There was 4 that were undrafted free agents, and there could be more, but those are the 4 that I know. Some of those kids could definitely be drafted higher than normal. A lot of times the philosophy is to get a kid that's going to come in and contribute. And let's take a flyer on a kid that is going to go down to the NFL. He may not, he may not be there long. He may. And I've been in draft rooms where we've done that, where we've drafted a guy and we never ever saw him. But we've also like Jeff Gray from Winnipeg. I remember going to see him at Green Bay's training camp, and he was doing good, but he got let go. He came back to Winnipeg, and now he's a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. So there's. You can certainly get, and like I said the other day, Chuba, I would take Chuba. It could be down the road, but he may never come up here. But hey, why not take especially this year? Like I said, last year they've got a draft class. Now they're just adding to the guys, and they don't know about the numbers coming to training camp, so that could be an issue as well.
Murph said that last week on the show, but let me see if I got this right. You nailed Chase Claypool going in the second round last year of the NFL draft. You had that right. You said Jevon Holland would be the highest Canadian taken this year, and you're right. But I think you said you wouldn't draft Chase Claypool last year. But you would draft Chuba Hubbard now?
Yeah, and the reason is Claypool, I think his ability was just so outstanding. I thought that there's a chance that he would, get there and stay there. And I'll tell you, I never thought he was going to be as good as he was. He was outstanding. He was just lights out. And Chuba could do the same thing, but I would later on in the draft, I would take Chuba for sure.
The Bomber fans watching want to know who you think the Bombers will take number 3 overall.
Well, good question. They just in stuff, doing research, they were talking about defensive backs, the possibility of needing a defensive back. So that could be a possibility. It depends on what happens with Nelson at number 2. If they take Nelson, that could be. But think about special teams. They drafted a few years ago a kid from Laval who made a huge tackle in the Western Final when they had that trick play. And I can't remember the kid's name, but he was from Laval. He's a linebacker that can run. Well, there's Halata could be a perfect spot for Winnipeg to take him because of his ability to run, ability to play on special teams. They're pretty solid. Now, the other thing is, and I mentioned this, to people, I think Kyle Borse is going to get drafted, and not necessarily up there. But, Winnipeg might be a spot. They've got a Canadian running back there. They've got another kid from UND that was there that got hurt. How is he going to come back? He's had a lot of time to rehab. And then, of course, Johnny Augustine, who ran well when he had that opportunity. But Canadian running backs, if Andrew goes down, they certainly need that. And Borsa is a kid. I seen him in 2018, and I liked him at that time. I thought, man, this kid, he catches the ball. He looks like he's an instinctive type runner. He's a big, strong kid. He tested crazy, made a mistake. And, hopefully he's learned from it. And if he has, I think he could have a pretty darn good career. So who knows? That's the thing. Everybody's draft room is different. And I don't know how many times we sat in that room and somebody's taken and everybody's going, wow, never thought he would be taken. I don't know if we were right. I can't remember, but and same within the NFL draft. You take a look at the top 32. When I was sitting here having just such a great time, I don't know how many times I said, "Wow, how about that? How about that decision that they made? Not that they're bad decisions, but they made a decision to go with this guy." I think of Panay when Cincinnati didn't take him and they went with Chase, who's a fantastic pick, but Panay is a guy that could have protected the quarterback. So, you just never know what's going to happen in the draft.
Chris Robinson writes in from Kingston, says the Sporting News has Chuba at number 5 tonight to Edmonton. Is that too high? I don't think it's too high. Calvin McCarty just retired there. They got a spot for a Canadian running back. Not that they've really used Calvin as a feature back, but you know what I'm saying. There's a spot there, I think, for him in Edmonton. Here's a good question. Mike Lee, Mighty L. Mike, says, do teams take into consideration the players' agents when drafting? You've been at the table, Smitty. How would you answer that?
Yes. There was one agent in particular, and I won't get into it, but yeah, there was one that was a difficult. I never dealt with the fellow, it can happen where you can definitely stay away, but at the same time, if an agent that you have difficult time with has a good player and you need it, you're going to take them. And the CFL's the CFL. I mean, there's only so much money that you can give, and it's not like they have a structure in rookies coming in, so it's a little different now. But if a guy is a good player and you need him, you're going to take him.
By the way, Mydale Mike is my seatmate at Pat's game, Smitty. So listen, let's hold each other to this. Because you always said you wanted to go for lunch with my dad, and it never happened before he passed, right? To talk personnel stuff. So I'll bring you to a Pat's game. You bring Kathy. We'll sit with Mydale Mike because he'll have a lot of questions for you. And I know that I know you'll enjoy answering them. Everybody's talking about Kyle Borsa. I'm just going to say this. And listen, I love the kid. I interviewed him on the weekend. And I just don't think he's going to get drafted. He's not in the top 20 prospects. He's not the highest rating running back. But I think before he goes to bed tonight, Craig, he will have a tryout and potentially a deal. I think he could be another Rob Bagg, another Neil Hughes. That's just what I'm saying. But that's a reason why I'm watching the draft tonight. That's one of the reasons why I'm watching a draft, because you know these kids. Anything specific for you that you're going to be watching for tonight, Craig, or are you just going to sit back and take it all in?
Well, yeah, specifically, obviously I got a list of guys that, that I've been kind of monitoring. And so I want to see where some of these kids go. Some kids that have played NCAA football that are ready to go. Guys like Daniel Joseph, who played at Penn State and you started at Penn State and went to NC State. And, where are guys like that going? There's specific guys that are going to happen. Hey, what about, the Lestage, the kid from Montreal? I was watching some film on that kid, and holy cow! I can see why they signed him in the NFL in Seattle. He's a solid offensive lineman. Now, who's going to take him? So each guy I'll be looking at and saying, okay, where's this guy going to go? How about this guy? I just wanted to mention Dean Leonard, a kid that you remember, Kenton Leonard. I'm not sure if you would remember him.
Yes,
but yeah, okay, defensive back for Calgary. Well, his son is in the draft, and he played at University of Calgary. He played boundary half, and he was a guy that when COVID hit, he went and played at the Ole Miss. So I mean, he's a kid that I think could come in and really help. A team. Grant McDonald, a kid from Calgary. I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes. Ackles, he always used to say, okay, where are we got to get a UBC kid for Smitty, because he's a UBC guy. 5 years there, so. And then we take one, and there you go, Smitty. You're happy now. So, I'll be looking to see what happens with regards to Laddick. And so specific guys I'll be watching to see where they go.
Don't worry, Jack Newman's been cramming Dean Leonard down my throat for a couple of years. So I'm infinitely aware of one Dean Leonard. And Jack, what a beauty he is at the UFC. Yep. Janelle in Saskatoon says, I wasn't going to watch the draft tonight, but guys, now you've got me super curious, so I will be a yes. See, this is the thing. People aren't interested about the CFL draft because they haven't heard anything about it. That's why we wanted to talk about this today. And my last question to you is, I don't know that we'll ever be what we saw on the weekend over 3 days with the NFL. We don't necessarily have to be that. But do you think that it could be something that fans would want to attend live, Smitty?
Well, that's a really good question. You're probably talking to the wrong guy, because I would say absolutely. Let's get her going. I remember a few years ago, this was way back, they had it on TSN. They had the guys there. They drafted guys, who just like the NFL, and boom, they never did it again. But there's a lot of damn good talent, that is going to be in this draft. And a lot of people said, well, it's a weak draft, but they're going to get 6 rounds of good picks, and then there's going to be guys that, just think about those guys that were drafted. Some of those guys are going to get picked. There's amazing talent, and it would be nice to give those kids some love with regards to the Canadian Football League and promote that. And I agree with you, Rod. They got to get this going with regards to promoting and I don't know how many times you said how great a product it is. It's not the product; it's what happens off the field. So let's get it going. And the other thing is what about these owners? I mean, I've heard that some of these owners have just loads of money. Well, guess what? Now's the time that we need help. So let's get let's get rolling, and let's help this Canadian Football League out. Because you want a team, and you want to sit on your butt and sit in the press box. Hey, let's get going. Let's take care of business.
I'm with you, Smitty. You're a gem. Let's do it more. And from Army Brad, he says, great promo for the draft. Well, we went to the best. Craig Smith. Craig, enjoy it, man. We'll chat soon.
Thank you very much.
Our director of scouting, Craig Smith, 2-time Grey Cup champion. We'll be back with a sports update. Overtime, you're watching the RP Show on draft day. On the RP Show across all 10 provinces and 31 states. And listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of lemon and Saskatoon berry with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
We are back. We got some interesting draft stuff to drop in a second. But first, sports update. Again, can we play this music more? I like this music. You guys, I just suggested it, but nobody wants to. This was like way back at the start of the show when we started 477 shows. We used it all the time.
We did use it.
It's so bouncy and upbeat.
I know, and I think
aren't we bouncy and upbeat?
Right. I think they stopped. They started hearing it in other spots on the.
So what?
But so
people thought of us.
They thought of us.
Sports update. The Raptors will try and make it 2 in a row in Los Angeles when they face Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers tonight. Toronto coming off a big victory Sunday against LeBron and the Lakers, but any chance at the playoffs remains slim. Toronto is 3 games behind Washington for a spot in the play-in tournament with 7 games to go. If you missed it, we talked earlier about LeBron of the Fakers saying that whoever came up with this play-in idea should be fired. I think, LeBron, you should be fired. The Vancouver Canucks welcome the Edmonton Oilers tonight in one of 5 NHL games. It's the second of a back-to-back set at Rogers Arena after Edmonton took last night's tilt 5-3. Connor McDavid chasing the 100-point mark. He's got 91 points now with 6 games to go, including 4 last night. And I felt bad for Braden Holtby. He looked disinterested. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
And he's never looked disinterested in his life.
I know. I feel bad for him.
In the dub on Monday, Matthew Semenov struck twice, and Mats Lindgren had 4 assists as the Kamloops Blazers downed the Victoria Royals 5-2. Dalen Kufler, Ty Spencer, and Connor Levis also scored for the Blazers, who got 24 saves from Dylan Garand. Brandon Cutler and Taryn Fizer scored for the Royals. Adam Evanov stopped 28 shots. The Blue Jays are in Oakland tonight in the second meeting of a 4-game set. Last night, Oakland took the opener 5-4 to snap Toronto's 3-game win streak. Jays in the midst of a 10-game road trip that also has stops in Houston and Atlanta. Did you know there's an Atlanta, Texas?
I did not.
Just south of Texarkana. I was looking up Tracy Lawrence the other day on Wikipedia, and it turns out he's from Atlanta, Texas.
Oh.
Do you remember Tracy Lawrence?
Of course I remember Tracy Lawrence.
Big fan. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, order yours now at g2gbars.ca. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. And by the way, they're not a new sponsor, but Manscaped has stepped up in a big way with the RP Show. We now have our own promo code with Manscaped.
That's right.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to say it today?
You can drop it. It's all good.
Manscaped. Try the Lawnmower 3.0. We got the logo up there. For men's personal grooming below the waist, the Lawnmower 3.0 has a headlight on it. A lamp. Not headlights. Headlight. Think about it. Specifically made for personal grooming below the waist.
Because of the new deal, they're sending a second product.
Come on!
So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need 2, right?
I don't think so.
You don't need a double fist, the manscaping.
Just imagine. No more clunky razors. No more cords that you get trampled on. It's got 90 minutes of zing time. If you need 90 minutes, man, Manscaped's the least of your problems. So, yeah, I'm digging it. Specifically made for men. Sorry to say. Manscaped.com. On the draft thing, I feel like just handing it over to you. The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, will you be following the CFL Draft tonight? 55% of you on Twitter saying no. And on Facebook, what are they saying? What are they saying, Dupes?
Don't know.
There you go.
50-50.
It's come back up.
It's coming down like more people are interested.
Wayne in Victoria, BC says, you've got a point, Rod. I didn't even know that the draft was on TSN, but yes, I'll be watching it tonight. So he didn't even know, but we're talking about it and promoting TSN, and there you go. Bob's your uncle. As my wife and I were discussing the other day, about working together. She's like, Rod, you always say working together works. And I said, yeah, but I feel like I'm about to shut up about that because nobody else wants to work together. Mind you, I will be on the 3downnation.com live stream tonight and Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up in a half an hour's time. But Darren, you had a draft point. So what was it?
Yeah, it's too bad because I saw, I'm seeing conversations on Twitter trying to talk CFL Draft. People asking, who do you think my team's going to take? Who do you think your team's going to take?
Yeah.
And the responses are Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers. Can we trade this pick? And is Aaron Rodgers available? Can we draft Trey Lance? It's like they're making it a joke. And so that's the response. And it's too bad because we had Craig Smith on, and all of a sudden it was 65% saying we're not interested. And whoop, now it's up to 50-50.
Now they're interested.
And now we're people saying I wasn't going to watch, but now I am going to watch. Because guess what? Now we've heard a few names. And I've covered Dean Leonard for a while. I'm interested to see where he goes. And it was great to see him get that chance to go into the NCAA and play at Ole Miss last year. And I'm interested to see where Kyle Borsa goes. And I do think he'll get drafted. I think Kyle Borsa will get drafted. I do. Mid to late rounds, I think Kyle Borsa, somebody will pick him. I'm interested to see where Nelson Lacombo goes. He's going to go in the first round. How high does he go? Does he go to the Riders? There are some storylines. But all it took was a 10-minute conversation. And if you did that a few times, it doesn't take a lot of work. It doesn't need to invest a lot of money in the big show. You start by getting people interested. And then you start by investing in the show. But it works. Talking about it works.
Before we break and come back for overtime, we have a healthy dose of respect for the Canadian Football League. That's why we talk about it as much as we do. And the reason that we're critical about it and people think that we're bashing it is that we can see how great it could be. And sometimes I think that people in the CFL don't treat it as well as it should be treated. That's why we've dedicated most of the show today to tonight's draft, because guess what? Nobody else is in the country, not even the rights holder. So as my man Marcus Spears says on ESPN Get Up, stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
How about that?
Thank you, Rick Regan. From Chris Robinson in Kingston says, where is the CFL on TSN panel talking about this? I hope that's a rhetorical question because I don't know. I shouldn't be the one answering that. We'll be back with overtime. Hang on. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
I IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose. And we might as well just keep the train rolling, the locomotive that is our CFL Draft Day special. Wayne in Victoria says, it's obvious to me that the RP Show has respect for the CFL. Keep it up, Rod. That's the point. We're hard. It's called tough love. It's called tough love, okay? It's the way I was raised. It's the only way I know how to do things. Don, the Navy man, says, I wonder if the head of TSN just ignores the call from Randy when he calls to ask about their lack of coverage. Again, don't know. Do you think Randy Brosey was calling TSN on that billboard that had Tom Brady on it instead of an Argo? Probably not.
Probably not.
Jeff in Winnipeg says, doesn't TSN do this when Austin Matthews... Breaking news. We will find out if Austin eats chunky soup with a fork or a spoon. LOL. We've been calling it the Toronto Sports Network for 25 years. You should probably call it the MLSE Sports Network because it's all their teams. It's their mandate. It's very clear. What I don't understand is why they treat the CFL so poorly. That's the one thing I haven't figured out yet.
It's the same thing that, ESPN's talking a little NHL now. So at least they're talking about it.
Yeah.
But they're doing that, yeah. And TSN did that, I think, early in the relationship. And ESPN is doing it early in the relationship. But there's a reason ESPN talks about the Dallas Cowboys every day.
Every day. Every damn day.
Every day.
Because they got a general manager and owner that puts himself in the news every day. Because he understands the value of publicity, both good and bad, which I don't believe the CFL does. From CD, the Ticats fan says, as a proud Ticats fan from Kansas, it breaks my heart to see the CFL struggle in Canada. Love your show. Keep up the great work, Rod. You are gaining a great fan base in the States. I don't understand why, because we're not even trying to. It's just happening. Yeah. That's the wildest thing. I feel like Montgomery Brewster trying to spend money to get rid of his money, and he ends up getting more money. We're in the business of being in business and $10 million. Did you watch that show?
Brewster's Millions?
Yeah. Love that show. From Michael Heilman on YouTube, I didn't even know the CFL draft was tonight until you said it, Rod. Thank you for all you do. From Jeff, the Stamps fan, Good luck to the Calgary Stampeders tonight. Oh, Jeff, like they need it. It's the Stampeders are the best drafting team. If you went back and looked at it, I bet you would say they're the best drafting team.
Yeah, probably.
Jeff, the Stamps fan. TSN's Grey Cup coverage seems pretty solid, doesn't it? Yeah! 1 weekend a year! Bravo! From Nelson, our VP of Sim Events. ESPN shoves the NFL down your throat day in and day out. You have no choice to get excited about what Tom Brady had for breakfast because they talk about it for 3 hours. TSN plays to the CFL's run and hide approach. That's a thing. Like, I do get tired of NFL talk on ESPN, but you know what? Every morning I get up and watch it, and it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy to see Marcus Spears saying, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And Dan Orlovsky losing his mind about something, and they tease him because he's a big, tall, lanky nerd, but he's a cool nerd. And I feel like I know these guys, and I don't even know them. And they're talking about the NFL every damn day.
Taking the lead from the league. They might want to talk about other stuff. They're sports people. They want to talk about sports. And then it's, the NFL's in the news again. So we're going to talk about that for 3 hours. You know, TSN's just taking the CFL's lead.
Yeah. And pushing their own agenda.
Of course.
Which is Leafs, Raptors.
But remember, ESPN only has one game a week on the network. That's it.
One game. Good point. Monday night?
That's it.
That's wild.
CBS has like 15 games. They should be wall-to-wall coverage.
But they're showing reruns of
Family Feud,
Young Rock. From Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame in downtown Toronto. The NHL draft benefits from the IIHF World Junior Tournament. Perhaps if TSN broadcast a similar World Football Tournament, then the CFL draft could benefit. Most have no idea who the players are in the draft. Well, yeah, Clark just tells me 1 minute. We're getting to the end of what's been a fun day. We've talked about the serious stuff, the not-so-serious stuff. Tomorrow we'll put a bow on this. Again, I'll be on the 3downnation.com live stream. I'm going on Winnipeg Sports Talk in 15 minutes with Huss to preview the CFL draft and talk Jets. So I think we accomplished a lot today.
Yeah, we did.
Anything you'd like to say?
Excited for the CFL draft tonight. Really am. Didn't start the day excited, but I am after the show.
Well, you know some of the players.
I'm in.
7 p.m. Eastern tonight on TSN. And, Bob's your uncle. Thanks to Don Taylor and Craig Smith for being a part of Canada's favorite sports talk show and also Canada's only daytime sports talk show. We'll see you tomorrow here on Game Plus TV. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.